I went to a concert last night. Was at a comedy show the night before. You're getting out. You should. You're in your early 20s. I'm glad to hear that you're getting out despite working this old man's shift, this old man's job that you have
Yeah,
as we bring the energy this morning.
yeah. That was literally my first time going out since like the summer though. So I feel like
What?
yeah,
Are you serious?
I don't really go out like that, especially since I started working here. I'm just
Yeah, I
you know,
asked Ryan if he had a day off yesterday. He said nope.
no too locked in.
Now,
I don't need a day off when you love your job.
well, everybody needs a day off. You're going to learn that.
No, yeah,
I love your youthful energy.
no, yeah. I already am planning about like what
You
days I'm
need to
gonna
be
take off.
planning it.
But like, yeah,
I just get worried selfishly from my own standpoint. I'm like, you need the job, you need the time off. Go do it. Go enjoy yourself, especially since it's the weekend. Glad you guys are with us. What's up for the weekend? We got a lot we're going to get into, a lot of headlines, things happening all over the area. Love it when you guys jump in on the show and participate and let us know. Jumping on X and YouTube and Facebook. We said you can call us all the time, 855-282-8255. Lots going on this weekend, as we said, sports-related, entertainment-related. We'll get into all of that. There is just so much that's happening. Got a lot of things to get to, a lot of sports stories to get to, a lot of news stories, and, of course, entertainment as well. We've got some guests coming up here in the short-term future. Ted Collier, an artist in town, will be joining us at some point. Chris Pronger is going to be joining us. I've been talking to those guys this week. Busy people. Glad to have them on the show. The e-gaming people next week from Maryville are going to be in studio joining us as well. We're actually getting some people up and early. As I like to say, the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, dark 30 interviews as we get you up and going every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. on Arch City Now. Jumping on the chat line, promote anything and everything that you guys want to. We love it when you guys are here. It's Friday. And, of course, we got the weekend throughout the St. Louis area. A lot of people talking about weather. I want to know who you guys follow in the St. Louis area, because you start to see there's weather coming this weekend. Is it overdone? Is it not? We haven't had rain or a thunderstorm in a while. And all of a sudden, is it just for hype? Do the weather people start to put that out for hype? Have you heard it's supposed to storm bad this weekend?
yes, on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you with what? The entire area? What? And then, I don't know. There's somebody who I watch on Facebook. Hyper Extreme Local. I don't know if you've ever checked it out. I think he does the best job. He is phenomenal of anybody. I don't know if you guys have seen him or not. But anyway, it's some good stuff. Hyper Extreme Local. Are we really going to get hit throughout the area that hard? I don't know. And then you start to look at his breakdown. And his breakdown is basically south of 44 is where it's getting hit. It's coming west to east, but south of 44 is where the heavy stuff is coming. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's right. It's Friday. We'll see. I'm not trying to get too freaked out about things, but I'm glad that I have somebody that I can go to. So that's my go-to, Hyper Extreme Local. And, give us your thoughts, predictions. All I know is it could allegedly mess with sporting events and any activities that you have outside. They said mid-morning to early evening is when those things can happen. So who knows? We will see. I don't know. Haven't we learned not to trust every little thing we hear? I have. You guys tell us. Oh, well. Okay. Let's get into some of this. We got sports, as I talked about, news, weather, whatever the case. We're supposed to get that weather Saturday. Temperature is supposed to be in the low 80s, very nice and comfortable again today. And then the temperature shift switches tomorrow. Mid-70s, overcast, cloudy, rainy. And then all next week, we're talking highs in the 60s and 70s and sun. Not too shabby. Can't complain about that. We take it at 8 o'clock today. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us. Then it's the MIZSTL show from 10 to 11 o'clock. Grant Salzman talking Mizzou promoting their game tomorrow night. Big game for the Tigers. Of course, when you play in the SEC, it's a big game every Saturday. And then from 11 to 1, the Charlie Tuna Show and his posse. Is Charlie back today? Do we know? Did he make it back into studio yet, or is he still out and about? He's still nursing?
Charlie, man, Charlie is back, and he had a really good show yesterday. And today we have another show, and he has a rerun at 12 o'clock with Billy Bush. So.
Okay, there you go. You got that Billy Bush on with Charlie today from 12 to 1. Okay. So many places to start. I guess I'll start because we try to hit it local. How about a high school football game? I went to a game last night. I went, shows you my life. I went to a high school game. Tried to get my son to go. He's like, Dad, we had an event already scheduled. So I was like, okay. So I went and watched half of the DeSmet Cardinal Ritter football game. It was senior night for Cardinal Ritter. And how about a 66-47 score for a high school game? 66-47.
Yeah.
It is the highest scoring high school football game I have ever been to. I'm 52. I've covered a lot of high school football, been to a lot of high school football games in my life. I have never seen a high school football game with more scoring. Unfreaking believable what has happened all over the place there. I knew DeSmet was down this year. They scored a lot. I mean, they kept up with them. They just couldn't stop Ritter. So Cardinal Ritter, congrats on a big win for them. They play a very, very tough schedule. They're only 4-3, but when you look at who they've played, it makes sense. The losses that they've had out of state lost. They lost to CBC. They lost to Jackson. But they're good. They are good. Just good to see the community out there, too. Down at Cardinal Ritter enjoying the football game. Beautiful night to go outside. Other games in the area from last night that were interesting. Parkway West had a tough one with Pattonville, but they overcame. They've only lost one game this year. And there's one Hazelwood school that beats up on all the Hazelwood schools, and they have for a while now. It's Hazelwood East. They shut out Hazelwood Central 35-0. Now, high school football local. Tonight, you got a big game, too. Big game. And it starts right with CBC and SLU. That is a massive, massive game coming up tonight. 6-0 CBC over at SLU, 7-0, 6 p.m. start, not 7. In the MCC, the Catholic Conference League, what they do is they start those games at 6 o'clock. So if that's of interest to you, you can go check that out as well. Warrenton plays over at Orchard Farm, smaller schools, 4-2 versus 7-0. That should be another interesting game, and another game that's going to draw a lot of interest is Ladue and Kirkwood playing tonight. Those have been two very upstart teams this year. Each team has only lost one game, both ranked, so they're pretty good teams. Some good talent on those teams as well. Some Division I college football players have been recruited to be playing in that game too. I've talked about how impressive the Ladue cheering section is when it comes to their fans. Very impressive. But Ladue is 4-1. I thought 5-1 versus Kirkwood. It's over at Kirkwood, by the way. That a 7 o'clock start. So East St. Louis, we are the home of them. The Flyers, they're 5-2 hosting O'Fallon. So if you guys want to give shout outs to the high school kids on whatever they may be doing with a high school football event tonight, feel free. We'd love it when you guys do that. Promoting. It's all about promoting St. Louis. St. Louis stuff today and all the time. I want to get out of the way, too, talking about sports. Last night, I mean, what the heck happened? The NFL script hits again. You may be an NFL fan, you may not be. Man. But there is no doubt. I feel as if the NFL is just scripted, and it's getting so much more obvious. I mean, you had 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers playing some damn good football. I mean, making some incredible throws.
Those 40-year-olds made that Thursday night look like a Super Bowl.
And it's impressive. Age is just a number, right?
Yeah. I had a feeling Aaron Rodgers was going to have a good season, though. I was saying that, and Charlie was saying, no, he's too old. But I was like, he's with the Steelers.
Tell Charlie you're too old. You're too old, Charlie.
Oh, yeah. And what was I going to say? Yeah, he called you out yesterday, too.
I can only imagine for what.
Because
Mizzou?
No, CBC.
What about CBC?
East St. Louis.
Want to see it?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I don't know why. They are saying that you said that you think CBC is going to win.
I did.
Oh, you're standing on it.
I did say that.
I was giving you a cop out to say you didn't.
No, I did say that. And I give them a slight edge.
Oh, no.
Because of seniors. That's it.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Maury Scott said that, too. He said,
I know.
Yeah. He was like, he wants to come on and debate that.
Come on, baby. Bring it on. The best part about it is this. We'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never get that.
We'll never know. And there's one thing that I've learned in covering high school sports over the years. The teams that have athletes and a system in place for a long time, those are the schools that dominate. That's why CBC and East St. Louis do what they do. They both recruit very well. Just put it this way. East St. Louis is recruiting St. Louis, if nobody has said that before. If nobody knows, you got kids going to East St. Louis from St. Louis. They go to East St. Louis to play high school football. It's the secret that nobody wants to talk about, but I'll put it out there for you because I've been involved, and I've coached at CBC, and I've coached every place else. If you want to get real and deal and dirty and nasty about it, I will tell you what is going on when it comes to, quote, recruiting. It is what it is.
Can't even get mad about it because it's like every school doing it. I remember there was another certain
every school tries to do it.
Everyone tries to do it. There's also,
but nobody does it as well as some other schools.
I'm not going to say the other school on the basketball side that wins a lot of state championships. They won't move up to class 5 or 6, but they win a lot of state championships as well.
Mm-hmm.
They go out of town and stuff, but they say they don't recruit. But.
Yeah, not to get sidetracked, but these are some of the things that are going on with high school, and it is what it is. So that's the high school side of things. Aaron Rodgers last night, Joe Flacco, they both played very, very good football games. And what are the chances? I don't know if it has happened in the history of the NFL where a guy gets traded mid-season and then leads another team to a victory over the team that's in first place in the division. If anybody picked the Bengals to beat the Steelers last night, I want to know. Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 34 for 249, very efficient, 4 touchdowns, had 2 interceptions, but one of those interceptions was not his fault. Literally, one of his receivers. You never let another guy rip the ball out of your freaking hands. Ever. Ever. That's like somebody coming into your house and attacking you and your family, and you just sit there. That is precious cargo. You do not let anybody take the ball. So anyway, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, his quarterback rating was 103.7, and it would have been a lot higher without that interception. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old. Aaron Rodgers, 41. He's just now playing with this brand new team. He just got traded. But you have to be brilliant to be a quarterback. You really do. You have to be smart. Very, very smart to be a good quarterback. And then to switch just a few weeks ago, get traded. And now he leads the Bengals, who were 2-4, over the 4-1 Steelers. Puts up 33 points, goes 31 of 47, 342 yards of passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for a quarterback rating of 108.6. The Bengals season was saved. And that's exactly what the NFL wanted until Joe Burrow gets back. They needed that victory. If the Bengals lose last night, their season's done. Oh, but somehow they win. NFL, nice script. If you didn't know, the NFL is scripted. It's scripted. I'm telling you, it's scripted. None of this stuff can happen.
So do you think like NFL?
Yes, I do. Whatever you're going to ask. I get it. What were you going to ask, buddy?
Do you think the NFL is on the same level as WWE?
I do.
It's that theatrical.
Just maybe step above.
Because it's super theatrical.
I'm
now,
sorry. A little bit. I do. I think there are certain games, absolutely. And the NFL is smart. Money makes the world go round, and it's all about the cash. Show me the money, as I learned many, many, many years ago. Show me the money. Jerry Maguire. Okay, I'm Vic Faust. That's producer Rye. We're off and rolling. 6:20 on a Friday morning. It's a free-for-all. On Fridays, I get a little crazy, a little more energy. Looking forward to the weekend, or it's that last gasp of energy trying to fight off the tiredness of a long week. Also, a lot was going on last night, a lot for the weekend. NFL action this weekend. Chiefs hosting the Raiders. The Monday Night Football game coming up Monday when we see you again. Should be an interesting one. The Lions hosting the Bucks, and the Bucks are so great, and the Lions are so depleted and so beat up, and now the Lions are a 5.5-point favorite. This is again why the NFL is scripted. Last week, the Lions going in to face the Chiefs look like the best team in the NFL by far. The Chiefs don't look like they're doing very well. And then what happens? Oh, the Chiefs are the favored team, and you're like, how in the heck could the Chiefs be the favored team? And then they go in and then they beat up the Lions. All of a sudden, 1 week later, the Lions are hosting the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers are the team. And now the Lions are a 5.5-point favorite in the NFL. That's why I say the NFL scripted. How can it change that fast from week to week? Okay, sorry. We're rolling.
It's because there's just a lot of parity in the league.
There is a lot of parity in the league. No dominant team.
No dominant team. So the defending AFC champions, they are at home and they play Detroit. They may be the favorite, being 2-3 or whatever they were. It's just like that, I guess.
Hey, by the way, tell your guys, give them my phone number and tell them we'll do a show, and I'll help teach them about high school football, and I'll show them why on an X's and O paper, why CBC would do what they will do.
Look, after doing these games,
but it will be tight. Overtime win.
Nah,
and I'm going to tell you why. Coaching.
I think
the best coach in the state is Scott Pingle, and I'm not saying that I love the guy. I'm just saying he puts together the best staff year in, year out. They know how to win high school football games, and there should be a game between those two.
Yeah, I think both teams are.
They should be playing again. They should be playing.
But after listening and watching these East St. Louis games, I have East St. Louis by a long shot to everybody. I'm not, unless it's like Bishop Gorman or IMG again. But
yeah, those are some damn good teams as well. Hey guys, we appreciate you jumping in today, jumping on the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to talk about some of these area sports stories, news stories, we'll do that. 855-282-8255. The vibe, the beat, the heat of St. Louis. You can jump in on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. We're just having some fun. We talk stories. We get you up and moving on these mornings when it's dark. Sun doesn't really come out till about 6:50 in the morning these days. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. Then we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. We're just glad that you're having some fun with us. We try not to take it too serious, but there are some serious stories that we cover as well. So let's have some fun. It's a Friday. Why not? Get your day started the right way. Let us know how you're getting your morning started, what you're looking forward to today, tomorrow, Sunday. Ryan, producer Rye, excuse me. Wednesday night, he's at Helium at a comedy show. Last night, he's at a concert. This weekend, he's going to the AEW Wrestle Dream over at Chaffetz.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I want your life. I want your life over there. Hey, how much do you follow AEW that much? Because I don't know a ton about AEW.
Well, I do I produce the Wrestling on the Spectrum show, so I do.
You gotcha.
Yeah, so I do have to know a little bit about AEW, but I'm more of a WWE fan. But I know enough to talk AEW and know who's out there, like most of the guys.
I was curious what was going on. So that's at Chaffetz over the weekend, something that people are looking forward to as well. Yeah. We'll be promoting some of those events over the weekend. We talked about the high school football, having some fun. College football, we haven't even gotten into yet. We'll do that. Let me wrap up last night. Major League Baseball, the Dodgers, their pitching is not fair. It is just not fair. They shut everybody down. They're up 3-0. They have a chance to wrap up that series tonight, as a matter of fact. Dodgers can wrap it up. They host the Brewers, 7:38. The Blue Jays and Mariners also are playing. They're tied at 2 games apiece. Go figure. Hard to figure, but go figure. The Mariners dominated Toronto for 2 games in Toronto. So then the Mariners come home thinking they can wrap up a series, and then the Toronto returns the favor. They dominate the Mariners in Seattle for 2 straight games. And I have to give credit because he made it through. He just made it through last night. Max Scherzer, the St. Louis future Hall of Fame pitcher, Mizzou product, All-American, will be a Hall of Fame pitcher, is a Hall of Fame pitcher. If he retired today, he's Hall of Fame. He gave the Blue Jays a much-needed start last night and win. This isn't the old Max Scherzer, but damn does he know how to pitch. Max, awesome job. Love him. Done a few interviews with him over the years. He helps Toronto win. He gets the victory as well. Love to see the St. Louis guys doing well. Max Scherzer still pitching, doing some really good things. He has put a lot of miles on that arm, and he still continues to win games. He's still hanging out in Major League Baseball. It's just phenomenal. Old Mad Max, and how good this guy has been. And he just finds a way. And that's one of the travesties, in my humble opinion, of St. Louis baseball. At one point in time, he wanted to be a Cardinal, and we were never able to get that St. Louis native to the Cardinals. That is a travesty that Parkway kid who wanted to be a Cardinal was never allowed to be a Cardinal, ever. I mean, he's got 216 wins to just 112 losses. That is a phenomenal career with an ERA of 3.16. That's how good he is. 3,407 strikeouts. I mean, wow. And that's over a long career. What's that, 16, 17-year career? It's just been phenomenal. So anyway, he went to the World Series with the Nationals, the Rangers, and now the Blue Jays. Guy's a winner. So congrats to Max Scherzer on what he's been able to do, pitching all throughout. Okay, guys, we're off and starting. There's we got about 30 things we can talk about today. Love it. Our crack research team, they're up all night, 24 hours, giving us story ideas, topics. We come in the morning, and our staff of 10 give us all these story ideas. You're supposed to laugh, right? Anyway, we'll be back. We got to take a quick break. Jumping on the show. Let's have some fun on a Friday morning. 855-282-8255. You can also jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. It's Friday. Let's wake up St. Louis and have a great day. Producer Rye alongside as well. Jumping on the show, X, Facebook, YouTube. Glad you guys are with us. If we miss a comment or two, we'll get back to it. I promise. It's just a matter of catching up with everything as we promote everything that's happening, or at least what we know about throughout the St. Louis area. It's impossible to get everything. We know we miss it or miss some things, which is why we rely on you guys to let us know everything that's happening in your community. Plans for the weekend, you just never know. You may give somebody an idea. Other people aren't aware of some of the things that are going on, and that's what we try to do. Okay. Talk the first segment. It went super, super fast. Another segment. I wanted to jump in here with some of the news headlines, some of the things that are going on. First of all, we will hit some of the comments as well. From the chat line, Paul says, Tomlin's pissed that Flacco was traded within the division. Yes, from the NFL. He said it, didn't understand it. After the trade, maybe he knew something we didn't. And all of a sudden you put Flacco with some good receivers. Uh-oh. Cincinnati gets a big win last night. Also from the chat line, East St. Louis's former coach, Bob Shannon, played anybody and was afraid of no one. Plus, he was an absolute gentleman anytime he talked to anyone. But there's been some games between CBC and East St. Louis over the years. I believe they've played some games. They just weren't on each other's schedule this year.
Yeah, it's like sometimes they play each other, sometimes they not. And I just personally think it should be like a border battle.
Yeah,
like,
that would be great.
CBC's the best team.
Why would you don't compete against each other for state? But there's also the issue of recruiting, because if you happen to lose to one of the other teams, if you didn't know, I'm going to tell you the secret. Kids will switch back and forth from these states to go to one of those two schools. Okay. It is what it is. It's high school. A lot of people are afraid to talk about it. I'm not. I'll tell you what. And if you want to talk to me off the air, I'll tell you what's really going on. Because I'm not afraid to talk truth with anybody, everything. It's not how it should be, but it is. So if they play each other and one of those teams loses, they run the risk of not getting a kid coming to their high school to play sports. It is what it is, but they should be playing every year.
Okay, now it's making sense why I get it, because it's like also you have to think about the kids that are on the teams too. Those guys are battling each other week in and week out without even playing each other, because the same colleges that are recruiting the guys at Eastside are also recruiting the guys at CBC too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah.
Here's the thing. It is what it is, guys. We're just getting to it. It's high school, okay? 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. But we're glad you're watching us today. From a standpoint of what's happening in the St. Louis area, Mizzou, big game tomorrow night. The Tigers, big Mizzou area. They're at Auburn, 6:30. You do not want to go tonight or tomorrow night and lose at Auburn. If you lose, all of a sudden, now you've got 2 straight losses and you're going to Vanderbilt where you're going to be an underdog again. Before you come home against Texas A&M. It's life in the SEC. It is what it is. Every week you're facing somebody that's really, really good. So the interesting thing for me from that standpoint, and I brought it up yesterday, Auburn was a favorite. And then all of a sudden the betting line switched. So Missouri initially about 3-point underdog to a 1.5-point underdog. And then it switched. And then Missouri went to the favorite by 1.5. So Missouri on the road at Auburn. Auburn is one of those teams with a great defense. Great. That word can be thrown out and used very callously. Great defense. They've had no offense. No offense. Not in this day and age of 2025 and what college offenses should look like. But they've also had some in-house problems this week. They had a player who was not treated well by Hugh Freeze. He wanted to redshirt. And then on social media, all of his teammates started backing him and not the coach. That shows some issues in-house. We'll see how it plays out tomorrow night. Missouri needs to win that game. Absolutely. If they are planning on going to the college football playoff and or a really good bowl game and having a good year, just keeping the excitement with Missouri Tiger football there. It is what it is. Illinois with the weekend off. There's some other good college football games if you want to watch them. I know we have people who follow all kinds of schools, throughout but there's some good there's some good action going on this weekend. I'm just glad that we got Mizzou coming up tomorrow night. Another game that I thought would be interesting from the weekend. Not that there's but LSU plays at Vandy because Mizzou plays at Vanderbilt next week. That'll be an interesting one for me to watch, at least to see, okay, who are these guys? What do they got going on? And then the other big game from the weekend that I see coming up is clearly it's number 5 Ole Miss at number 9 Georgia. Ole Miss is undefeated. Georgia's lost 1. Who wins that football game? I think Georgia wins that football game. I do. I think they hand Ole Miss their first loss. And, then you've got one other big game. That's the big game of the weekend. And there's 2, but this another SEC tilt. How about number 11 Tennessee? They've got 1 loss at Alabama, ranked 6, 1 loss. Look at Alabama's run that they've had. At Georgia, win. Get past Vanderbilt, barely. Well, it started to get a little closer. Barely get by Mizzou. Oh, yeah. Now you get Tennessee. So if anybody thinks Mizzou's got a tough schedule, look what Alabama has to deal with. USC at Notre Dame. Forgive me, I don't see that being close. I don't.
USC's been surprising too, though.
Yeah.
I got Notre Dame, of course.
Yeah, they do too. Notre Dame 4-2. And if Notre Dame wins that, the rest of their schedule is easy. Sorry.
And that's the thing about Notre Dame. It's like
easy. And I'm sorry, a lot of Big Tens have easy schedules coming down the stretch too. And I do say the word easy comparatively speaking to what you see in the SEC.
I feel like personally, if you're not in the SEC, you shouldn't even be looked at to get in the playoffs.
Well, I won't go that far.
Wait, no, I'm not done. If you lose more than 2 games, if you lose more than 1 game in like the Big Ten or independent, it's different than having 2 losses in the SEC.
No, I get it. I do. So that's the college football side of things. They're going there. We can talk about that throughout the show as well. Other things that are happening in the area. We talked about it yesterday, and I've gotten like 5 or 6 different messages. Not that it's a lot, but it's more than what I get on anybody else. KSDK news anchor Rennie Knott. Obviously he put out a post. He wasn't there. This has been going on for about 2-3 days now. But my gosh, the sentiment for the anchor, nobody knows exactly what's happened. At least it hasn't come out publicly, but it looks like it was a contract dispute. I don't know. I haven't been told that. That's me guessing. Just from how bad local news has been. And not just now, but in recent years with anchors. And it's a catch-22 because local news is not very popular anymore. Ratings they've plummeted over the past 5 to 10 years. The money isn't there anymore. The advertising dollars aren't there anymore. And it's difficult to keep people who've busted their butt. This is my take. I haven't been told this, but I've seen it. And I know, and I talk to people. And it's been over 3 years, well over 3 years since I worked in it, but I still keep in contact. The money it was not there. And everybody thinks, I'm going to be a name. Yeah, you're going to be broke. I'm just telling you, you better have a backup plan. Because there's no money in local news. There just isn't. Some people, every now and then, it depends on what you can buy, but supporting a family, no. And you have people who give their life to a station like Rennie for over 2 decades. And then people go, you take a pay cut. Literally, I was told that once. Yeah, you guys are number 1. You've been number 1 for 5 years. You're probably going to have to take a pay cut and you're going to have to do more work. Yeah. I started interviewing outside of the field even before I left. I took 2 job interviews because I was like, I can't do this. Being a broadcaster, local news is not what it once was, not even close. But it just goes to show it's for TV and it's for any job. Just remember that you're always replaceable. You're replaceable. No matter what you do for a company or anybody, you're always replaceable. That's why I always felt it's better to work for yourself. And there are so many opportunities to work in the broadcasting industry via podcasting, blogging, vlogging, you name it. You just have to have a business sense now on top of it, because nobody will work as harder for you or care about you and your career and your future more than you will. That is a fact. So that's been a big, super popular story over the week or this week when it comes to Rennie and some of the things that were going on there. And then you've also got another big story that came out. Another guy, he's been loved over the years. And then you're like, oh, okay, what's going on with Tim Azell? Worked at Fox 2 in the mornings. Well, Tim had a health scare, a health issue. So he recently did a sit-down interview kind of explaining about what had happened to him. So Rennie's gone, and then Tim Azell also leaving. He did an interview with Margie Ellis, a really, really, really good interview. I didn't watch the whole thing, but recently he shared that he had Parkinson's disease and he stepped away for a while. But that diagnosis got switched to multiple system atrophy, also known as MSA. And, he's stepped away indefinitely. There's a 13-minute interview online. MSA, by the way, is a progressive disorder that impacts the body's automatic nervous system. It's like Parkinson's. The real sad story that hits home on it, there isn't a cure for it. So Tim explains in the interview that it mimics the same conditions as Parkinson's, but also has its own markers, including autonomic dysfunction and the inability to regulate blood pressure, which is what he's been dealing with since 2013. Those are some serious, serious issues that can happen. So interesting when you look at some, massive TV personalities in the St. Louis area. He's still continuing to get treatments at the Mayo Clinic. And he's going to keep people updated because just a guy that was loved in the area, and Rennie not, somebody else who's been loved and been here for over 20 years. Just goes to show what can happen, in a moment's notice. You just never know. That's why I always try to say stay positive as best as you can. And we can't control things. A lot of times we can. It's how we react, which is easier said than done unless you go through some of those situations. So shout out to Rennie. Shout out to Tim. Know both of them, talked to both of them. And we'll see what's next, especially for Rennie in his situation. I'm sure I don't know what his details are, but I'm sure he's got all kinds of offers all over the place to do all kinds of things, or at least he should. 10/17, it's October 17th, over halfway through this month already. Allegedly, we got a big rainstorm coming through the St. Louis metropolitan area tomorrow. Could affect some outdoor plans mid-morning into the early evening. We'll see where that goes. I always give a shout out to my hyper extreme local guy. He says the majority of it, the worst part of it, he says is going to be south of 44 as the storm travels straight west to east. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. He doesn't try to freak people out. That's what I like about Hyper Extreme Local on Facebook. I think he does a phenomenal job. You guys may know about him already. When I was first turned on to him by my girlfriend, I was like, oh, he's pretty good. He is good. I like that. He does a really, really good job, or they do a really, really good job over there, everybody that works. So that's who I'll be keeping in contact with to make sure that I see the things that should be happening and what we got. Okay. How about this, people? A University City woman, how does this happen? How do you think you could get away with this? She stole over $9,000 worth of merchandise from the Lululemon store in the Central West End over there on Maryland Plaza. Okay, September 28th. She walks into the store and steals $1,130 worth of merchandise. She leaves. Oh, that was just the appetizer. She comes back. She wanted her main course. $6,558 worth of merchandise she steals then. But she wasn't done. She had to have dessert. So she came back for another $1,628 of merchandise, thinking that she could get away with everything. I have no idea what possesses a person to think that they can do this and think that they could get away all on the same day, 3 different times.
Different stores.
No, same store.
Oh, wow.
Over $9,000 worth of merchandise. Well, you're on camera. You're on camera. And the cameras are really good. Security in 2025, for the most part, is really good. All the thefts were captured on surveillance camera. Central West End Neighborhood Security Initiative cameras as well. They say that this organization who has their cameras, and I love this, they situate the cameras all throughout the neighborhood. And the neighborhood cameras are helping police track down thieves like this. So it's not just the store, it's the community around the store. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. Those Ring cameras are good, and they will show you. You show up, they will show you. I mean, yeah, people in the area were interviewed, shock, disappointment, things of that standpoint. So she's been charged with 3 counts of stealing $750 or more. That's what frustrates me about our legal system. It's like it's not a big deal if it's $750 or less. Oh, just go into Walgreens. We see that's why a lot of Walgreens and CVS stores and high crime areas close up or lock up their merchandise. If you go get somebody to get a key. By the way, she's being held at the St. Louis City Justice Center without bond. Yeah, it was just phenomenal. Bond hearing was yesterday. But to think people could actually do that and try to get away with it. It's like, really? 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 You think you're going to be able to do that? Something else that's just been it's a long time story over the years. But guess what? The Jamestown Mall site is finally cleared. Demolition has been completed. It has been a long time coming. Finally, the 142 acres is cleared. So now what happens? Well, I guess the real work starts. It's a massive empty shell at the heart of North St. Louis County. That's what it was for nearly a decade. You have this land, you have this opportunity. So what are you going to do? What is going to make money? What is going to make sense in that part of North County right now? What's going to move the needle? I don't know. I really don't know. People have tried to put some ideas together for it, but I don't have any idea what's happening. So St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb, my experiences with her have all been pretty darn good. A forward-thinking type of person. Quote, we're going to develop this. It's not going to sit dormant like this forever. We want to bring development here to the new site where the old Jamestown Mall was. So what are they going to do with it? Well, the Port Authority owns 142 acres. They own the 142 acres, so they've hired a global real estate firm, CBRE, to market and sell the site. So county leaders all agree that the community input will drive the vision, whether that is retail, housing, or a mix of green space and innovation. But you just think about St. Louis, the old Jamestown Mall, it's finally gone. And now what can they possibly do with that? By the way, side note, Shalonda Webb, the county councilwoman, her son is Sterling Webb. You know who Sterling Webb is? He's a defensive tackle at Mizzou.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah, and he got hurt in the Alabama game at first, but I think he'll be back playing. But he was a transfer. I think he was down at New Mexico State, played at Westminster.
But he's from here. That's what I heard.
From the St. Louis area, and he transferred back. That's what you do. A lot of times now you just go to smaller schools, you get bigger, stronger, faster, and you transfer. That's what he did. So MIZZOU, Sterling Webb, Mizzou taking on Auburn tomorrow night. We talked about that in the last break. But back to the story, obviously, it's finding out what they can do when it comes to the Jamestown Mall site over there in North County. Man, we want to see that do better. I mean, I do. We just want to see St. Louis thrive and be the kind of place it should be. Utilize the opportunities we have, the vision of some people. But Is that part of North County going to flourish? Can we bring business to that area? Will people get involved and get excited about it? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's not being negative. I'm just trying to figure out what can work there to make sense for people to make money or for it to be a situation where it's a positive at the old site. From the chat line, hey, Vic, in California, I think you can steal $900 worth of merchandise and not be arrested. People can just walk in from I don't know what the California rules are there. Donna says, I feel like those of us, Arch City, now are a community. Thank you so much. Paul says, you got it. You were always replaceable, coming from the story that I was talking about with Rennie Knott. Paul says nursing, too. They'll just replace you. Whereas nurses don't get treated with respect. That's a shout out there. Thanks, guys, for jumping in and letting us know what's happening with your comments as well. Okay. Oh, man, we're just rolling. Gosh, there's so much to get into today. It's a Friday. It's a free-for-all Friday. Hey, when we come back, we'll tell you new data about distracted driving. It's a real deal. It's a big deal. We'll reset the stage for the weekend that's coming up. High school football, college football, pro sports, St. Louis City SC, some events going on in town in the city, wrestling in town, the weather's hitting, all kinds of things on this October 17th. Producer Rye is alongside. I am Vic Faust. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. Besides jumping in on X, Facebook, and YouTube, you can give us a call at 855-282-8255. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. We got things going. It's going to be a beautiful day. The sun is starting to come up throughout the St. Louis area, talking about a high in the low 80s with some sun, maybe a little bit of clouds today, but all in all, another beautiful October day before some cooler temperatures make their way into the area tomorrow and then for the next week. Okay, we'll be back with more. We are your Lou information station, of course, live and on demand at louinfo.com. And for many, maybe most, it is 7:05. It's October 17th. I'm Vic Faust. Producer Rye alongside as well. If you guys want to jump in with us and talk about some of the things happening throughout the St. Louis area, what may be moving the needle for you, you can do so. The phone number to do that is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You got some baseball. Both series are on tonight. ALCS, NLDS, both playing. Dodgers have a chance to wrap up their series. They're up 3-0 on the Brewers. And then you have Toronto and Seattle, both tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 is in Seattle tonight as well. We talked about the weekend. You got Mizzou playing tomorrow night, 6:30 versus Auburn. They are favorites in that game. The Illini have off. There's high school football, all kinds of games going on. And a big one is CBC undefeated over at SLU, who's undefeated. There'll be a lot of people out at that game watching some huge local football. Massive game last night. I've never seen more points in my life. I went over and watched it for a while. Cardinal Ritter hosted DeSmet 66-47. High school football game. 66-47. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That is happening. Also, NFL last night. That's why I would say it's scripted. A 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers and a 40-year-old Joe Flacco put on a show. I mean, these guys both of them played really good. Quarterback ratings over 100. Both played well enough for their teams to win. It was their defenses that didn't show up. And somehow, some way, Cincinnati, with Joe Flacco, traded just a few weeks ago, midseason, leads them to victory over the Steelers. What happened to the Steelers defense this year? Mike Tomlin has an offense. Now he doesn't have a defense. It's like, go figure. Who would have thought Steelers was their second? But the Bengals season has survived. That's why I joke about scripts, because the NFL really needs the Bengals to be playoff worthy with Joe Burrow coming back at some point. By the way, Joe Burrow was there last. He has a new haircut. He's got like this long thing going up in his face, like shaggy in his face, and looks like a high school kid. But for whatever it's worth, St. Louis City SC plays tomorrow night, their final regular season game. They're hosting Salt Lake. It's been a really good end to the year. Let's get it done. Let's finish on a good note, the regular season, because you have played so well since making changes. I've always respected Carolyn Kindle. I talk about, she just, whatever her and her company and the family do, it just works. It's success. So love to see St. Louis City get done what they need to do. And a big event Saturday that Rye Guy, producer Rye, will be at, the AEW Wrestle Dream over at Chaffetz. Checking it out. You're going to go enjoy that. Is there any, I don't even know who the headliners would be for the show coming up on Saturday, but I haven't gotten that involved with AEW, but I do know it's super popular, and I know it's going to be at Chaffetz, so people can go enjoy the wrestling side there. Anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, there's some guys that were in WWE that people may know. His name, he's going by Copeland, Adam Copeland now.
Okay.
But his name is in the WWE, he was known as Edge. Also they also have Christian.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Another guy, John Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really it. That's like WWE guys, but there's a lot of guys in AEW that I like MJF. I think he's going to be a star in wrestling. He's hilarious. And then there's just a lot of guys that can really wrestle. You know? That's
your inside wrestling scoop from producer Rye, who also does what show?
Wrestling on the Spectrum on Saturday from 11 to 12 every Saturday with Brody the Brain Herman, Tony Patrico, and Jeremy Correa.
Damn, that's a lot going on right there. We appreciate it. We try to cover it all here, bringing you all kinds of stories, things that are going on. If you guys want to jump in, do so, please, on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We love your interaction with the show. You can also give us a call when you want to at 855-282-8255. Other news headlines, things that are happening around the St. Louis area. So much that we're trying to get to. It's like, my gosh, we're popping around a bunch because, like I said, there's just a lot to get to. Okay. Have you seen anybody dine and dash? I didn't even know it was still a thing. Allegedly it is in the St. Louis area. And it happened at Michael's Bar recently, just one of the bars. And the owner said that they had heard of it happening at other places. So what they're going to try to do now, because once again, there's video at all places. If you dine and dash, they're going to put your picture and your video on social media. And trust me, that's the last thing that you want. Just pay your bill if you're going to go in. So here's what happened. They got screwed over. They've served the area. They've been there for 46 years. And they said it's happened quite a few times lately. Literally quite, and not like once every now and then, but it does happen. And another one of my friends who owns a bar said, yeah, they'll have people who just walk out. They don't, for the most part, they said some people will do it, they'll forget, they'll come back. But they have people who dine and dash on purpose. So this one happened just a few nights ago. A man ordered a hamburger, a couple side dishes. The bill came out to be about $40. He asked the server when he was ready to leave if she could give him change for a $100 bill. So the server went to go get change, and the customer took off, but left behind a counterfeit $1,000 bill. $1,000 bill, not a $100 bill, $1,000. The bill was labeled something known as ancestor money. In traditional Chinese culture, ancestor money is burned to provide the spirits with money for material goods in the afterlife. So obviously the bartenders are frustrated when people do this. You're busting your butt. You're doing everything you can. They work for their tips. It affects them, no doubt about it. The profit margins are too small when things like this happen, and it hurts people. It really, really does. So they wanted to remind people, most of these restaurants they have cameras everywhere. There's security cameras everywhere. They have license plate readers in the parking lot. They have facial recognition that they've invested in, at least over at Michael's, because things continue to happen to small businesses around the area. So if you do this, they say they're going to expose you now. They're going to make people aware. They're going to show people your face. They're going to show what you did, and they're trying to get the word out. They think that the strategy appears to be working. So here's what happened. The customer who attempted to pay with the fake $1,000 bill presumably saw his photo on social media and returned to the restaurant the day after, apologized, settled the bill, and left a tip for the server. That tip should have been like double the meal after what he did. You get exposed, it changes things. A lot of people like to, not say a lot, but there are people who want to act like they're angels. Oh, I wouldn't do anything to hurt anybody. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Then they get caught and exposed. And then they're like, uh-oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? And this guy got caught. He got exposed. And now he's in a bad situation. He should be grateful that they didn't get police involved. Literally be grateful that that did not happen. So really, really, really nice of Michael's to deal with that. But just know, and I know other restaurant owners, there are security cameras now for a variety of reasons. Do not try to be that way to people. Karma comes back on you. It does. It will come back. No need for it all. Any of that stuff that's going on. Just about 7:15 on this Friday morning. It's October 17th. This is Art City Now. I'm Vic Faust. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You can jump in the show. We appreciate when you do. Producer Rye is alongside as well. We take you to about 7:57 before Hot Take Central 2.0 takes over with Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Jim the Cat Hayes, former Cardinals or the current Cardinals broadcaster. Talking about events that are happening this weekend as well. The Blues also tomorrow night. And if it's raining, although the rain may be gone by then, you're going to be inside. The Blues looking for their first victory of the season at home. And they play the Stars. It doesn't get any easier. One of the best teams in the league. So why not get your first victory? You come out flying. You make things happen against the Stars. The Stars are undefeated. And the Blues are ready to get things going. They got to show the fans something. Two very, very bad games, giving up 13 goals in your first two home games. Not going to cut it. Jim Montgomery not happy. The Blues not happy, working their tails off, and they got to keep that energy up as they play tomorrow night. Not only Saturday night, because if you can't get to the game Saturday night, you've also got opportunities to go check out the Blues next Tuesday and next Thursday at home as well before they go on a road trip. So lots of time to catch the Blues. By the way, 7 home games just in the month of October out of the gate. So people can go watch and enjoy and see all the activity that is happening. Hey, by the way, Greater St. Louis Incorporated and Explore St. Louis are announcing the return of St. Louis Restaurant Week. This is going to start on Monday, and it runs all next week in downtown. 25 restaurants are participating with discounted items and special menu items as well. It celebrates the talent and creativity that makes St. Louis a standout culinary destination. That coming from Brad Dean, the president and CEO of Explore St. Louis. I like the idea. Let's get it back. That's for sure. I mean, you've got restaurants including 360 Rooftop Bar downtown, Buddy's Wine Bar and Bistro, Kimchi Guys on the Landing, Schlafly Tap Room, Union 30, and many more are going to be involved in that. So you can check out those restaurants, support St. Louis. You can also look it up and get a full list of all the restaurants participating. There will be several of them participating. Lots of options for you to go down and check out St. Louis Restaurant Week. You can actually, it's dinedowntownsTL.com, dinedowntownsTL.com, checking out some of the restaurants who are involved with it. I mean, you've got the amazing Repa Bar, Blood and Sand, Boom and Brew, Bridge Tap House and Wine Bar. We told you about Buddy's. You've also got Burger 809, Clark and Bergen, Clark Street Tap House, Fielder's Choice. As you can see, Gourmet Soul Restaurant and Catering, the Idle Wolf, Levels Nigerian Cuisine, Ramsey's Kitchen, Rooster, Rosalita's, Salt and Smoke, Schlafly, as we were telling you about, Snarf, Sugar Fire. So a lot of restaurants there. Just check it out, downtown St. Louis Restaurant Week, promoting everything from a St. Louis standpoint. And of course, if you want to get involved, now you know what you can do when it comes to that story and everything that's happening downtown. 7:18 is the time as we continue to bring you the things that we're bringing you on this Friday. If you want to jump in, you can do so on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, that's X, Facebook, and YouTube. What's going on? Events this weekend. Let us know. We try to get it. We'll promote it. We've talked about the weather. Supposed to be not so great during the afternoon tomorrow, but we'll see. Will it hit St. Louis hard? Will it be a situation where it stays south of 44, as I saw and heard as well? I don't know. We'll see from that standpoint. Lots of sports action, as we were talking about, other activities where people can go get involved. Let us know. You can give us a call, talk about these news stories, what's happening in your neck of the woods. What stories are also going on? 855-282-8255. Once again, 855-282-8255. We say good morning to everybody who's jumped in on the chat line. Donna and Tony and Paul and Ben. Thank you so much for jumping in, giving us your thoughts and ideas, comments on things that are happening throughout the area. St. Louis City SC Soccer tomorrow night as well, weather permitting. Don't know exactly what to expect. Their final game of the regular season. Salt Lake will be in town while St. Louis City SC tries to take care of business to make sure all is good from that standpoint. Another news headline, because I said we had so much that was going on. I'm not sure if you guys had, I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised from this standpoint when it comes to what's happening in the area and when you're out in the roads. But there is now, and it's considered to be, oh, you know what? I better get back to this because we're talking food and restaurants in the St. Louis area. They're leaving. A Toasted Ravioli Eatery is leaving the City Foundry, but they're going to focus on their own brick and mortar. Unfortunately, I said the Foundry wasn't a place like their business could grow. It kind of boxed them in. So it's STL toasted. Have you had any STL toasted? I haven't had any of it yet, Producer Rye. You guys as listeners and viewers, I don't know if you've had it yet. I've heard people talk very well about it, but I just hadn't tried it. They said, quote, unfortunately, the foundry just wasn't a place where their business could thrive and grow the way that they'd like it to. So they say the decision will allow them to focus on doing more out of their brick and mortar without the requirements and restrictions that a food hall places on you. I could see that. They took over the former home of Mama Toscano's on the Hill, which closed for good back in August. So if people were looking for STL toasted at the foundry, they're going to be leaving. Here's another thing. I guess we shouldn't be surprised about this. This is what I was talking about earlier. 1 in 3 accidents are now because of, guess what, Rye? Distracted driving. Because of distracted driving. And I know it can happen to us. It can happen to anybody. You want to concentrate, and I know things can get your mind off the road even for a second. And it's also at a situation now where it's causing fatalities. And those are things that are concerning. And MoDOT was trying to get the word out from that standpoint of making sure that people understand what's happening and that it's easy for us to kind of forget sometimes and think, oh, nothing's going to happen to us. Sometimes it can. And then, of course, we know it will. But the new data is fairly alarming. And MoDOT is put this out. They put the information out. It was a campaign that started in 2017. And they say since 2020, the state has reported close to 450 traffic fatalities related to distracted driving. And they say that while that doesn't always tell the story, but they say that what they're learning is distracted driving is an even bigger issue than sometimes what the crash data is suggesting. They say the data is telling us that distracted driving equates to 10 to 15% of all fatal crashes. 10 to 15%. They've got a program. It's Buckle Up, Phone Down Day. That's October 29th in a week and a half. That is not only in Missouri, but it's across the nation as well. So just asking people to, not only just for the 29th, but all the time. The more you hear something, the better it is for all of us to know and understand exactly, how safe we need to be and how we shouldn't take things for granted when we're out on the roads. That's for sure. What's happening in your neck of the woods? You can jump in. You can talk with us. Let us know everything that you see. We're glad that you jump in. Kirkwood is trying to come up with a way to make their city a little bit safer when it comes to accidents. So they're talking about improving pedestrian safety where you walk. They've got safer streets for the St. Louis region. It's a group. It's all around Meacham Park neighborhood and Island in southeast Kirkwood. If you know in that area, it's difficult to walk places, lots of traffic, surrounded by interstates, lots of traffic at roads, maybe not easy for people to walk around. So what they're trying to do over in Kirkwood, I think it's pretty interesting if they can make that work. They say that the Kirkwood Boulevard and the Kirkwood Common Shopping Center are the most intersections. When you're outside a vehicle, you've got no protection. Literally, people just kind of cruising through. So what they're trying to do, they've got a new proposal where they're trying to build an urban trail. So it would connect Meacham Park, the Meacham Park area, if you know that, to other parts of Kirkwood, including what's called the downtown area, just to make it safer, make the roadways a little bit safer for everybody. So they're committed to what they say is the Vision Zero, a goal of eliminating traffic-related deaths by 2042. So they want to build the project centered around safety. Quote, the walkability of Kirkwood is something we take a huge pride in. So Kirkwood already a great place to live, work, dine, hang out, whatever, trying to make it a little bit safer. And I love the ideas. You got to have a proactive idea to do that. The Kirkwood City Council's discussing the project and they hope that they can do that for a long-term plan. We are Arch City Now. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust, 7:25 on a Friday morning. It's October 17th. Beautiful day. It should be a beautiful night as well. Before we have some weather that's supposed to hit the area. Storms happen. We don't know. We're told that there could be some severe storms tomorrow, mid-morning to maybe early afternoon, depending upon the weathercasters that you're listening to or talking to. Maybe the majority of it or the majority of the intense weather would be south of 44, but traveling west to east, no doubt. So we get to sit back and wait and see if it's going to affect any sporting events that you have outside tomorrow, any high school soccer games that are Saturday sporting events of any kind that could be happening. You just have to be ready for that. Make alternative plans if you need to. And of course, those things will be in line. Hey, by the way, next week, we talk about shows and people, and we had the comedian, the Casio Kid, in studio the other day, and then Rye went to Helium the other night. Saw a good show, and we've had some really, really good comedians hit St. Louis. Matt Rife was here not long ago. You also had Shane. Who's Shane? Shane. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I'm embarrassed right now. Let me look him up really quick. My point is, Adam Sandler in town, Shane Gillis, duh. Shane Gillis was here. Matt Rife had Nikki Glazer out on stage. Very, very smart of him to do. They took some really good pictures. Nikki looks good taking pictures. Well, Nikki's got a bunch of shows next week in the St. Louis area, if you haven't seen them yet. Or if you haven't seen, she's got shows October 21st, 22nd, 24th, and 25th. The 21st and 22nd over at the Funny Bone in St. Charles. And then Friday and Saturday next week, the Fabulous Fox Theater. So she's at the Fabulous Fox Theater next week for those shows. So 4 shows next week, all throughout St. Louis. It seems like it's a give back to her community in the St. Louis area. You go, Nikki. Go do your thing. So if you want to get tickets to those shows, you can check them out. Once again, October 21st and 22nd, Nikki Glazer at the Funny Bone. Wow. Then she gets a day off on Thursday. Then Friday and Saturday, the Fabulous Fox Theater. Sounds like a really cool week. So if you want to go check out Nikki, you can do that as well. By the way, if you want to check out our show and jump in with us, talk with others, you can do that on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We love it when you guys get interactive, involved with us and others. If you want to call and talk about some of these St. Louis stories, you can do that too. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. When we come back, we can talk about some of the stories that are going on throughout St. Louis at the week. The weekend ahead, the weather, the Rennie Knott story became very big. Tim Ezell, give a health update. He's away as well. I mean, those things are happening. You got Mizzou over the weekend, the Blues coming up. Anything else that we've missed, let us know. St. Louis SC, lots going on. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We are Arch City Now. We are the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com, and we'll be back with more after October 17th. I'm Vic Faust, producer Ryan alongside. Glad you guys are with us today. What a beautiful morning again throughout the St. Louis area. Going to see lows in I guess the high is going to be in the low 80s today. Enjoy it because allegedly we have some rain coming in tomorrow. Parts of St. Louis. I guess it'll be more intense in certain areas. If you check out my guy, Hyper Extreme Local on Facebook, who I watch and keep in contact with, says most of it's going to be south of 44, the heavy stuff. But who knows? We'll wait and see. All I know is it could affect some outdoor plans if you guys were looking to do anything outside, sporting events, all that. You know how that goes. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's a high school Friday night football, though. It's a big night around. People will be enjoying that. Went out and watched Cardinal Ritter and DeSmet last night. How about a 66-47 high school football game? 66-47. Like a 3.5-hour high school football game with no commercials. I mean, insane all the way around. Congrats to Dakota Ritter on getting that win. They're back, no doubt about it. They have a really, really good team. So congrats to them on their senior night. Also, big high school football game tonight. CBC at SLU. 2 undefeated teams playing over at SLU. That should be interesting. A lot of people like that. If you guys want to throw some shout outs to whatever, your kids, your family, whatever, however they're involved in a high school Friday night football. It doesn't even have to be just the football, but football nights are big nights in the St. Louis area when it comes to Friday night football. And we like to promote it, give you a chance to promote your teams, your school, show off your pride, whatever it may be. So thank you for jumping in and doing that. X, Facebook, and YouTube is where you can talk with us and talk with others. You can also give us a call if you want to. Phone number there, 855-282-8255. As always, we are your Lou information station, always live and on demand at louinfo.com. And talking about the schedule for today, every day, Monday through Friday, we're here from 6 to 8 a.m. And then you have Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. They take you from 8 to 10. Then on Fridays, you've got the MIZ STL show. Grant Salzman will be promoting Mizzou. Huge game tomorrow night for them. But every week, it is a huge game for Mizzou playing in the SEC when you have end of the season playoff aspirations. And you've put yourself in a position, at least at this point in time, to have a shot at it. We will see. Got to beat Auburn on the road. Missouri, by the way, is a 1.5-point favorite. But they started off as underdogs on that line, and then the money started coming in on Missouri. And Missouri getting respect on the road at Auburn. We'll see how that goes. I just know that this is a game Auburn's looking at going, man, we have to win it. They'll have their best shot after the stretch of games that they've had where they've played 3 nationally ranked teams all in the top 11 and lost very, very tight games. Auburn's a good team. They just haven't been able to win those close games this year because they don't have an offense that's been able to score points. Chance for Missouri to bounce back after their first loss of the year. Also, Missouri playing their first road game of the year, which is bizarre as well that they didn't have to go on the road until now. So we'll see how they respond with the kind of team that they have. Eli Drinkwood says they're a very close-knit team, so he wouldn't expect anything else to happen. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. So the MIZ STL show hits today. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I joined that show on Mondays. So you've got that today from 10 to 11 o'clock. And by the way, after Mizzou football games, over at stlsportscentral.com, once again, stlsportscentral.com, we do the Mizzou postgame show. Chris Pelican, myself, and the voice of the Missouri Tigers, Howard Richard. So you can check us out after every Missouri football game, breaking down the games, what happened, talking with you, the listeners, the viewers, about your thoughts and things that happened when it came to Mizzou. That'll be a late one tomorrow night if that game starts at 6:30. We will be on the post-game telecast, making sure that you guys are caught up with everything that we saw from our show, including Howard coming in live from Auburn, Alabama. So glad you guys are with us again, as always, jumping in, being a part of our show, letting us know about ideas, stories from that standpoint. And then also today from 11 to 1, you've got the Charlie Tuna Show. Charlie Tuna and the posse coming in, making things happen. And we're here. All of us are here Monday through Friday in the mornings. For a list of all the other programming that we have on this network throughout the entire week, all you have to do is go to luinfo.com. Once again, that is luinfo.com. Tomorrow night, you got the Blues back in action. What will happen? I know Cam and his crew will be talking about that today. They host the Stars. Then on Tuesday night, they host LA. And then next Thursday, they host Utah. But they really need a home win because, the longer it goes without getting a win, it just becomes more difficult. I bet we're going to see the Blues' best action. And somehow, some way, playing a very, very good Dallas team, they come away with a win. Got to get some points in that game, especially these early season games. So, St. Louis, sports fans, you're great. Let's hope the weather has already passed through by that point in time, so you're not getting drenched trying to get into the game if we get the weather that we're supposed to get. Who knows? We'll see what goes with that. Also, I want to give a shout out to St. Louis's own Max Scherzer. Max has had and I'll call it a Hall of Fame baseball career. I call him a Hall of Fame pitcher. Former Parkway grad, Parkway Central, and Mizzou pitcher. And then all of a sudden, he's still playing. Max Scherzer making, he's hanging in there. That arm is still hanging on, doing as best as he can. He's literally 41 years old, and he's still making things happen in major. He got the win last night for the Blue Jays. He battled, he fought through those innings, and he came out on top. He gave Toronto a chance to win, and it's just phenomenal to watch this St. Louis guy continue to do his thing, get a playoff win at age 41, which is just phenomenal to me, especially with what these pitchers go through, the mileage that his shoulder has, his elbow, his forearms, his body, his lower back, his legs, you name it. Just really, really cool to see what he's been able to do. Now, he didn't have a great year this year, but he still managed to get a win last night at 41 years of age. The former first-round draft pick of Arizona way back in 2006. So definitely a guy that promotes St. Louis, promotes Mizzou. Mizzou loves him. It's just a travesty to think that I just would have loved to have seen him in a Cardinals uniform. And I know it's been talked about often and what could have happened and Cardinals decisions over the years and maybe the timing not working out for him getting back there. But we promote our own here, and he's one of our own. And he got the win last night, and it certainly helped out Toronto, who, by the way, have now evened that series after getting blasted at home 2 games. They went to Seattle and won 2 games. So they've got game 5 coming up in Seattle tonight. The Dodgers, by the way, as well. They're up 3-0 on the Brewers. They have a chance to finish that series off tonight in LA as well. But if you're watching some of that baseball, maybe if the Blue Jays advance, Scherzer gets another start in the World Series. We'll have to wait and see. But the guy can pitch. He's done it for a long time. And he's been one of the best we've ever seen in baseball do it, which is phenomenal to think all of the wonderful things that Max has done. So congrats, Max, on a big win last night, and good luck to your Blue Jays. Okay. Producer Rye, I have to get you involved on this, buddy. This is an interesting story. You use AI. You're a big AI guy.
Yes, sir, I do.
I'm learning about AI as well. I'm sure people have done this already, but it just happened to work. A Michigan woman used AI to win a very nice Powerball prize. That's right. She bought a Powerball ticket online for the September 6th drawing. It was part of the Michigan lottery. She's like, I only play Powerball when the jackpot gets up there, and the jackpot was like over $1 billion, so I bought a ticket. And when I did, though, before I did it, I asked ChatGPT for a set of Powerball numbers. Those are the numbers she played on her ticket. So what happened? She got 4 numbers plus the Powerball. So she thought, oh, that's going to be $50,000. Well, then she realized that she also got the power play. So she won $100,000 after she asked ChatGPT to give her some numbers. and Chat GPT hits 4 plus the Powerball,
That's good.
and she wins $100,000 just like that. I haven't heard of one of those stories happening, but I guess anything is possible.
Yeah, shout out her. I don't use ChatGPT for stuff like that, but yeah, shout out her. ChatGPT did make my workout schedule though,
Of course it did.
and it made what like workouts I do and everything.
Oh, you can do a lot if you learn about ChatGPT. I started using something called Claude,
Never heard of Claude.
and I'm really liking Claude. I think Claude's I started learning that's the best. And I got an AI specialist who said, use Claude. Claude is by far the best. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see. So he started teaching me a little bit about that. But congrats to the woman, Miss Carvey in Michigan, using ChatGPT. You know somebody's asked ChatGPT to give them winning lottery numbers, right? Yeah, I'm sure it's happened. It had to have happened by now. It's like, how are we going to win? Oh, let's go to ChatGPT or ChatGPT. I bet they'll help us. And she wins. So good luck. Good for her. Enjoy using that $100,000 wherever you're going to be using that money. It's a Friday. Good morning, St. Louis. Getting you up and going, 7:45 on this October 17th. So glad you are with us today. High school football is going on tonight. We promoted that. If you want to jump in, you can tell us about what you're going to go see tonight or be involved with. Also, the AEW Shavitz Wrestle Dream show is Saturday night. You have to give me an update on Monday about that, okay? Because you're going to be there on Monday. Want to see what happens with that. Really just hoping that St. Louis City SC can get a win to finish out the regular season, just like Mizzou. So you got Mizzou tomorrow night. You've got St. Louis City SC tomorrow night with a home game. You've got the Blues tomorrow night with a home game against the Stars. So a lot is happening from that standpoint. There's some other really good college football games that we were talking about. So a lot of people just talking, and we try to cover those stories that make sense. And I've just been, it's on social media, and when you're around for 20 years and you're well-liked and well-known and you do a lot of things, it happens. Well, the Rennie Knott story, formerly of KSDK, don't know all the specific details, but I've had a lot of people message me. Do you know what happened with Rennie? What's going on with Rennie? Obviously, we just knew he wasn't at KSDK, and all he has said is that he wished that he didn't have to say goodbye. Makes you think maybe there was a contract dispute or something from that standpoint, or they didn't want to pay anymore at KSDK. Not quite sure what the specifics are. Not at this point in time on a Friday morning at 7:47. But if you go to his social media pages, wow. The support overwhelming. Came here, actually grew up out in Los Angeles and spent 20 years here in St. Louis. Never intended to, but he needed a job. Came here and absolutely loved it. And then you see the heartfelt support the community has given him and is giving him. And it just goes to show what happens in local news. Local news isn't what it once was, and money rules everything, like in a lot of things. And there's just not a lot of money in local news. That's what I love, what we do, because podcasting is the future, and the future is now. The podcasting, the video aspect of things, it's there. And that's where advertisers want to be and should be. Whereas local news cast out a big net, shows like ours and others go after specific audiences. And you just hate to see it. But once again, every one of us is replaceable at everything that we do. And the first time that we think that we're not, we'll probably get woken up. It's part of life. It happens. But that's one longtime, serious, very popular St. Louis anchor that's off the airwaves now, at least for now. I can't imagine he won't be. If he wants to stay in this area, in this town, he could probably pick what he wants to go do. Rennie, you're welcome here anytime. Let me know if you want to get up early with me. Come on in, my friend. We'll talk. We'll have some fun. Early, though, but maybe you can start to sleep in a little bit more now. Also, speaking of anchors who had been off the air, Tim Ezzell, one of the most liked, super popular morning show anchors, reporters, whatever you want to say, personalities, over a long period of time in St. Louis, stepped away recently for health reasons. He had said he had Parkinson's, but he did an interview back with Fox, with Margie Ellisor, who does a really good job over there at Fox, and talked about his latest update. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check it out. He now says that he has something called MSA. It's multiple system atrophy, and it causes him to step away, from his job. So he's trying to bat it. It has a lot of the same characteristics of Parkinson's. The sad thing from that standpoint is there isn't a cure, but it also has its own markers, even though it's like Parkinson's, where it includes autonomic dysfunction and the inability to regulate blood pressure, which is something he said he's been struggling with since 2013. Thoughts and prayers go out to Tim. He has certainly entertained St. Louis and informed St. Louis for a long, long period of time. You just hope and wish the best for him and everything that he's doing. He's got a lot of visits coming up at the Mayo Clinic and running a lot more tests just to learn as much as he possibly can when it comes to some of those situations that are happening. I mean, life will hit you, and it's how you respond to a lot of those things that are happening. So, thoughts and prayers for Tim, thoughts and prayers, obviously, for Rennie and those things that are happening, because it can happen and hit us all. If you guys want to weigh in on any of that, you can. You can talk about that from a standpoint. You can give us a call, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com all the time. You guys can always jump in. Let us know if you want to cover things. You have ideas for guests. We'll do that. That's what we do. All those things. Just get a vibe of St. Louis, get you going in the mornings. And we appreciate you jumping in. We wouldn't be here unless you guys were here for us as well. I did get this story earlier. It was just a crazy one. You had a woman the last week of September, a couple of weeks ago. She went into the Lululemon over in Central West End, Maryland Plaza, not once, not twice, but 3 times on the same day, and stole over $9,000 worth of merchandise. I don't know the specifics of how she did it, but the first time she was in there, she got away with over $1,100 worth of clothes and things. The second time she was in there, she walked away with almost $6,600 worth of merchandise. How do you even do that? $6,600 worth. Oh, but the getting was good, so she went back for a third time and took over $1,600. By the end of the day, her crime spree netted her well over $9,000. Got to be freaking kidding me. Oh, but there's cameras. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. All the thefts captured on store surveillance, and not only with the store surveillance, but this is what every community should have if they could. The Central West End Neighborhood Security Initiative cameras. That's right. Smile. You're on TV. They got it. The cameras were situated, and they've got cameras situated all throughout the neighborhood. So they help police track down people who were thieving, trying to cause problems for others. So it didn't take long to track this woman down, to realize what she had done. So she's been charged by the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office with 3 counts of stealing $750 or more. But my gosh, to do that 3 times in one day. Yeah, there you go. Good luck. Glad that you guys are able to do that. That's for sure. How that happens, I have no idea. Absolutely no freaking idea. Another story that came out, MoDOT put this out just to remind people to be safe on the roads, especially as we head into the weekend, if at all possible, because 1 in 3 crashes right now, literally 1 in 3 crashes, show that it's related to distracted driving. And then the totals are also scary when it comes to fatalities. 10 to 15% of all fatalities now are considered to be because of distracted driving, meaning they shouldn't even have happened in the first place. And it goes for all of us. We all obviously try to do our best and could probably do a better job of making sure that we're as safe as we possibly can when we're driving vehicles on the roads. I didn't know this was even going on before we get out of here today, but people are still dining and dashing in the St. Louis area. Michael's Bar and Grill's trying to fight back, though. They're on Manchester. They said they'd been hit pretty hard. They've got cameras, people. It's the whole camera deal again. Security cameras, ring cameras, you name it. They're security. So what they're trying to do now, and what they did and it worked, they're putting your picture on social media, your video on social media if you dine and dash. Once again, smile, you're on camera. Well, it seemed to work. They had a guy who came in last week, asked, had about a $40 tab, asked the server to please go get change for $100. When she walked away, he left, but he left a fake $1,000 bill on the table. A fake $1,000 bill. So they're like, okay, really cool. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the video. They put it on social media. And apparently it worked because guess who came back to the restaurant the next day? Oh, said guy paid his bill, apologized, begged for forgiveness, and then gave a tip to the server. And I said, yeah, that tip better been way more than what the bill was after what he did. They didn't press charges. They didn't try to do anything. They said, thank you. And I bet he won't be back. But apparently it's happened to them a lot in recent years, which is why they put cameras in. So just know that when you, and I have some friends who own bars, there are security cameras. It covers the whole bar. Just know that whatever you do or whatever you try to do, or if you're trying to entice somebody to do something, or if you're trying to start a fight or anything, the video shows it all. So don't be dumb. DBD, don't be dumb. We don't need it. So anyway, glad you guys were with us. Man, gosh, we covered a lot today, Producer Rye. There's been a lot. We appreciate it. We love doing this show every morning, doing what we can to stay with you guys. Bring you the latest in St. Louis. Coming up next, Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, Jim the Cat Hayes will have a really, really good show, of course, coming up at 10 o'clock, the MIZ STL show. And then, of course, Charlie Toon and the Posse from 11 to 1. Check out luinfo.com to check out all the other information. Let's see. Go St. Louis STL tomorrow night against Salt Lake. Go Blues against the Stars. Go Mizzou. I'll be rooting, I guess, for the Blue Jays only because of Max Scherzer, our St. Louis product, Missouri's own pitcher. We got that going on. And then high school football tonight, high school football tomorrow. You guys rock. Thanks for jumping in on the show. As always, we will be back on Monday at 6 a.m. So for Producer Rye, I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou Information Station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Stay positive. Have a great day and a great weekend as well.